We're with Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan. Fantastic season. Got a little week here where your little job interview.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is your biggest job. Do you have any other jobs growing up, like you work at the grocery store or anything like that, or just all football all the time?
All football all the time.
All right. Well, this is going to be the only job you're going to have for a while, it sounds like.
Yeah, hopefully.
I want to get into some football talk with you, man. Watching your tape, thoroughly enjoyed it. Love your counter club move inside. Is that just a field thing, or is it like a chess move, right? You're setting up your outside rush, outside rush. You get that overset and you counter club. Just go through your process when setting up that counter club move inside to win.
Yeah, I feel like, a lot of guys going into their rushes, they, kind of plan their rushes out or predetermine what they're going to do. I don't like, doing that most of the time. Just kind of feeling what the game, how it's going, how he's setting me. A lot of guys like jump setting me, kind of get on me quick, stop me from powering them. But I like to set it up with power, and then, I have the ability, and I feel like I'm athletic enough to, switch it up and hit that move that you were just talking about.
Well, I want to double down on that because it's rare that you see 3 techniques rush from a 2-point stance. But you like to do that.
Yeah, I do it sometimes.
Is that something by design, or is it you just comfortable rushing out of a 2-point stance on the interior?
I mean, sometimes on, like, obvious passing downs, the coaches give me the freedom, to, kind of free reign, do what I want. But, I'll line up in a wide 3 and a 2-point stance, or I'll line up in a tight 3-point stance, whatever it is, however I'm feeling. It's just kind of, on the fly, like freestyling sometimes. But, it's cool to just mix it up, do some unorthodox things.
Yeah. You line up next to Kenneth Grant and 2 of the best defensive tackles in the country. Completely different playing styles and size. And I'm curious, as someone, and you can answer this too, Lee J, but do you ever know that a guard is a little nervous about the quickness that you're about to bring to the party? Because your first step is pretty deadly, and it seems like you spend a lot of time shooting gaps and in the backfield immediately right after the ball is snapped.
Yeah, I feel like, a lot of the offensive game plans, revolves around our front. I feel like we pride ourselves on the way we play up front. We've always been like that. We wanted to be the most dominant group on the field and dominant position on the field. So I feel like, that kind of comes with it, guys, expecting other guys to be on their A game as well, bringing everything they have, especially against like guys like me, Kenneth, Josiah Stewart, some of the other edge guys we have that are younger guys. I feel like everyone brings their A game and is ready to play us.
Mason, people have brought up your arm length being a concern, but I was talking to Ryan about this on tape, man. Your twitchiness and quickness off the ball, you always have your hands inside of the offensive lineman before they can get them on you. So to me, it's not the biggest concern. But when people do bring it up, what is your response to that to let them know that's not going to be an issue?
I just kind of tell them, I've heard that same statement. My arms are shorter, but I feel like once you roll a tape, that's I don't feel like guys are getting in my chest. That's not really a problem. I'm getting extension, I'm getting separation and disengaging blocks just at a higher level than everyone else is too. So I feel like that's not really a concern. But I guess people look a lot into measurables, but I'm into in between the lines.
Correct. And that's what I was telling Ryan. It was like, it's not a concern because when you watch tape, man, the way you get your hands onto offensive guard so quick and the way you extend, like I don't think there's a guy in this draft that gets extension and disengages as fast as you. And I think when people talk about measurable, it's like it doesn't matter if I'm getting my hands on you before you get your hands on me.
Yeah, that's probably one of the things I tried to focus on, kind of acknowledging, I don't feel that my arms are shorter, but, people say it is. So, working on my hand speed, getting straight from the ground to their chest.
Correct.
Fast as possible, not even allowing them to get into me. So I feel like that's something that I kind of worked on.
I wouldn't suggest you say this in interviews, but after you get drafted, you can say, y'all overthought Braden Fisk last year because he has short arms. He should have been a first-round pick, and he balled out the entirety of his Rams rookie season. So I think to Lee J's point and the point you're making, those arms you got, you had them your whole life. They're not going to change. So you're working with what you got, and you're being pretty successful with it. I want to ask you about your teammate Kenneth Grant. I missed him earlier. What's something that people don't know about Kenneth Grant, someone you lined up against during your time in Michigan? Lined up next to, I should say.
I feel like, obviously the obvious things are he's a big athletic guy, I feel like we're both big athletic guys, but he's just bigger than me too at the same time. So it's really impressive to see what he does every day. But I feel like his knowledge for the game is also some things that people don't talk about. I feel like he's very knowledgeable of the game. We always talk to each other about ball. Just about how we play defense. Especially at Michigan. But I feel like he knows football, has a lot of football knowledge, but I don't really know if that's what I don't really look into what people say about people. I try not to look into that, but that's something I would say.
Mason, you had the privilege of being coached by Jim Harbaugh. He was now the head coach of the L.A. Chargers. What was probably the most weird or insane thing he said in the team meeting?
Yeah, I was just, in another interview before I kind of told the story of, we were, just in our regular team meeting coming off, we had just played on Saturday, then we had Sunday off, and then we start our new week of preparation on Mondays. And then, we usually start by talking off the teams, but he started with a 20-minute, Shakespeare rehearsal of
really?
This thing called the speech of St. Crispian, something like that he called it. He memorized it word for word off the top of his head. So, it was pretty impressive at the same time, but none of us kind of knew what was going on at all.
I was about to say, did you take anything from that 20-minute,
I just heard
speech?
a lot of St. Crispian. I was just letting him roll, do his thing. He's one of those guys that, can get on a roll and a rampage. He likes saying the word rampage, when we win. It's after 5+ games, we're on a roll, 8+ games winning rampage. And then I forgot what the other ones were, but he had some verbiage for that.
Hey, let me ask you about your teammate, Will Johnson, because he got injured this year, second half of the season. His 2023 tape is insane, nuts, best player coming into the summer for me. What do people not know about Will Johnson? Maybe just because they didn't get a chance to see him over the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, question, why he didn't play. He was fighting to come back. Guys thought that he was, maybe not playing because he was protecting himself. But, I talk to that guy every day, and he wants, he was willing to go out on the field and wanted to get on the field. But, he was dealing with something. Was pushing to get back on the field. Really wanted to get back for the game. But, I feel like a lot of guys question, what he did last year. But I feel like if you guys just watch the tape, there's no questions to be asked.
Mason, do you consider yourself the number 1 D tackle in this class? And if so, why?
Yes, sir. I consider myself the best D tackle. I just feel like, I'm the best overall, run and pass. A lot of guys, I'm not saying in this draft class, but a lot of guys, are, more focused on sacks. I like, stopping the run. I pride myself on that. I almost get more joy, stopping the run and taking on a double team and making a TFL rather than getting a sack. So I feel like, I dominate almost every play. There's not many bad plays on my side. I acknowledge what my bad plays are. But, yeah, I feel like I'm a really good technical player.
You are. I can confirm that.
For sure.
You don't have to be a smart person to know that. You just got to watch television. All right, Mason, I'm going to have you build the perfect defensive tackle. So I'm going to give you some categories, and you tell me, we can go past or present, which NFL players fit the build if you're going to build a perfect defensive tackle. First thing up, size.
And
that could be 285 for you. That could be 350. It's up to you.
Oh, you're talking about weight? Or you're talking about, name a player?
Name a player.
Name a player, yeah.
Obviously, Jordan Davis maybe.
That works. All right, strength, power.
Vita Vea.
Oh, he went right to that one. Agility.
One guy's agility I like. I like Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Moves, pass rush, or just shooting gaps against the run?
Chris Jones.
Football IQ.
Myself.
Love it. Love it. That means he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the league next year. And finally, motor.
I feel like Fisk, a guy that runs around a lot, makes a lot of plays,
Absolutely.
unorthodox plays. Maybe it's not his play to make, but he'll somehow make the play. Create some stuff, opportunities for himself.
Hey, I think we got to do one more thing.
Yeah.
But you're going to be. What do you do? Are you a football historian? You know football. Last 10, 20 years. If we throw you some names, will you get them?
Maybe, I don't know.
We'll do a couple. We'll do a little trial run.
Before we do that, give me your top 5 defensive tackles in the league right now.
Jalen Carter, Chris Jones. I wouldn't say top 5, but top 5 for me.
And you,
maybe.
This is your list.
I like Kenny Clark, Kobe Turner.
Nice.
Dexter Lawrence.
Like that.
All right, that's a top 5.
Similar names there. Yeah, a few people have said that.
All right, so I'm going to hold up some names, and we'll give you a trial run. If this is going sideways, we'll just cut it short.
It might go sideways, so we'll see.
And
I got confidence in you.
Yeah, Lee J's going to be the announcer for this. Here we go.
Yeah. This guy's a Hall of Famer. He's got a son that's actually here right now that plays tight end. His son went to LSU.
Something Taylor?
Yeah. Jason Taylor.
Mason.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get at least one of these or something.
You'll get this one.
What if I don't get this one?
You'll get this one. He's about to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm blanking, bro.
That's fine.
Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers.
Yep, Julius Peppers.
That's it. We ain't going to put you. Here's one for you. Name your favorite Michigan player ever that's not you.
Ooh.
Charles Woodson.
Oh.
I love that answer. Heisman.
Charles Woodson. Yeah.
Heisman. That's it. Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan, the best defensive tackle in the NFL draft. Mason, thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks.